as you know, during the coronavirus self-isolation period, we're not doing group classes, but I am doing free lectures on YouTube and stuff that you can work on in the privacy of your own home, alone, on carpet, in a small area to still improve your dancing, because none of us kind of want to fall behind, especially those of us that compete. Today we're going to look at a basic waltz. If you're a beginning level dancer, I recommend you go to Sean Gardner Dancing's website and look at more beginning level videos. The information I share tends to be aimed a little bit more towards intermediate, advanced, competitive dancers, but you're welcome to watch and try, or just watch and take notes and glean what you can. So I want to look at a basic box and what we can do to make that better. So just a little refresher, that figure looks like this: forward on your left foot, heel, side on your right toe, and we close the left foot to the right. Back on our right foot, back, side, together. So we'll just do that once for a little warm up. 1, 2, squeeze, 4, 5, squeeze. So the first thing I want to emphasize is not flopping the foot. I'll show you wrong from the side so you know what I'm talking about. This is a bad heel lead in waltz. So we don't want to flop down. We're going to slide out, slide. This is a heel. Heel, heel, ball still not touching, heel, and then I roll the foot with control. Back, side. Now when I'm stepping backwards, I want to think about my standing leg action. So I'm going to roll on the top of the foot. What I tend to see from my students is a ball. We don't want to do balls generally in tango, we want to do toes. So this is a toe and a toe, still a toe. It's still a toe, then I roll back, side, squeeze. So from the front, forward, side, squeeze, back, side, squeeze. Or if I were to rotate that so you can see from the side, forward, heel, slide, side, squeeze. Back on the top of the foot, back, side, squeeze, forward, side, squeeze, back, side, squeeze. You can do some standing leg exercises to make this a little bit easier. If you have carpet, I recommend putting wax paper under your feet, okay? It'll feel a little bit like ice skating. What we want to avoid doing is lifting the feet like we would in a tango. So if I were doing the same step in a tango, I know this isn't a real tango step, but it would look like this. Step, side, close, step. It's not a lift in a place in a waltz. It's a push the wax paper across the floor, push, 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 and that paper should slide. Same thing, if I have wax paper under here, I want to push. If you release, you leave the wax paper in the dust, and that means you don't have that good pressure into the floor. Another way I like to think about it, if I'm dancing on wood, is I pretend it's cheddar cheese. And I'm gonna go, and I'm digging a divot with my heel into the cheese. So this is no cheese divot. This is cheese slide. And that's gonna create your pretty shape, okay? So I'll show that one more time. Well, if you're on a wood floor, great, you can do that on your dance shoes. If you're on carpet, again, you can do bare feet and wax paper, same thing. So 1, 2, squeeze, 4, 5, squeeze. 1, 2, squeeze, and there you go. Same for man and lady. Let's talk about the top line for a second. When you're dancing solo, a lot of people just relax their arms. I would encourage you, whether you're a man, have your proper frame, whether you're a lady, dance with your proper frame. You're going to want to make that tone in the body a habit. So as a lady, you can dance with both arms up or one arm, or your right arm down. Either way is fine. Just make sure that your head is left of your butt cheek. I see the men and ladies in town for my students have a tendency to have the head centered, or if they think head left, they go like this, and the head's actually even right. So a leftward head is left of your butt. Hopefully you can see that for man. It's going to be left and upright. For lady, it's going to be left and more of a bowed action. So I'm poking my ribs at my partner, whether it's man or lady. I'm still poking those ribs at my partner. So I'll show that with like a lady frame. So I'm going to have my arms up, bent knees. 1, 2, keep it left. I don't know if you can see that. It's not going to be 1, 2, 3. Or even worse, 1, 2, 3. But I'll hopefully give you a good visual here. 1, 2, keep it left. Hopefully we can see that. Men, you're doing the same thing. It's not quite as extreme, but it's certainly the same thing. You don't want to be upright and centered. You're going to have your head left of your butt. upright, poking this ribs at the girl. Think about if you have these two little ribs sticking out here, this rib, poking into your girl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have one more request for the guys. They tend to dance this left hand too low. I'd rather see this too high than too low. Unless you're dancing with an eensy-weensy little girl, you want this, think your eye height. In town, my students tend to have too low, so if you go too high, let's err on the side of caution. Think your eye height. I'd rather have the lady have too high of a top line than too low of a top line. Ladies, if he takes my hand too low, a little cheat I do is I go even lower with the legs to accommodate. Yes, it feels like I'm sitting on a toadstool, but I never let him, I don't sacrifice my top line for anything if I'm on the comp floor or performing. So if he starts sagging, I'm like, oh, no, that's not going to happen. I'm going to get low and I'm going to poke even more. If you do the yoga bridge at home, that flexibility in the upper back's really going to help your dancing and help you accommodate if your partner's having an off day. We all have off days, it happens. Okay, so let's look at that box one more time. We have a slide. We talked about the wax paper. We talked about the cheddar cheese. So slide, we talked about being split weight. That'll give you a pretty shape when you close the feet. Back, we talked about top of foot instead of ball, top of foot. We also want to think about, I see a lot of losing the leg tracking when we go backwards, something like this. You want to think about going backwards on a balance beam whenever you're dancing. So backwards. We're not actually crossing a line, but because most people have a little bit of a bowed leg action and turn out naturally the way they're built, if you think about going back right behind this foot, this is ideal. Okay, so leg tracking, side, squeeze. Leg tracking, side, squeeze. The final thing I want to talk about in waltz that you can work on at home is delaying your rise. So what I see from my students really common is too early of a rise, too much rise. Ladies, we always want to stay lower than our partner, so that's a little cheat I can use. And I never want to get to my max rise or totally straight leg unless I'm doing something like a same foot lunge or something pretty dramatic. But certainly in this basic, I'm never going to get to maximum rise. Otherwise, we're really like tottering and off balance. So I'm going to go low, 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 and I'm still low. I don't care if the book says rise there. I'm rising, but rising is going to happen naturally because the feet are coming together, not because I'm bopping up and down. It's going to look like Tourette syndrome on the floor. So next focus, doing that box, staying low on the 2-3. I'll say here when that sweet spot happens where you're going to be tempted to rise up too high, and we're going to stay low. So low, low. Here it is, folks. Low. I'm still low. I know I want to rise. I feel it too. I'm going to stay low. Low. Oh, low. Okay, and this low will happen naturally. When you're passing the feet, you're going to go low anyway, so don't worry about that. But the side, you're going to want to pop up. Don't do it. Stay low. Stay low. And the lower you are, the more you want to lift this left side up. So those are our cheats that we're going to work on this week at home in our walks. You can do like a straight on box. I recommend doing a rotational box where you rotate to the left because that's going to be more like you would move on a regular dance floor. But if that's too much to think about, changing walls and such, it's okay to do it straight and just go step side close. We're thinking about cheese divots, lifting ribs, pushing into the floor, staying low. Lots of fun concepts to work on, so have fun with that this week, and I look forward to seeing you again in a dance studio as soon as possible. Have a good week. Bye, guys.